If you've ever felt like building a website takes way too long, here's a simple trick. Set up your global styles first. Instead of changing every font, every color, every button on every single page, just do it once and it updates across the entire site. And the cool thing is, this is not just an Elementor feature, it's available on every popular website builder. And in this video, I'll show you exactly how it's done. Hi, I'm Jairo from ABL Mindset, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to set up Elementor's global settings so that your site looks consistent and professional from the start. So let's get into it. All right, guys, for this example, we're just using free Elementor because the whole point of this series is to show you the possibilities and the things that you can build with just a free Elementor. So the way you get to your site settings is right up here. See Elementor, you see this plus symbol to add element. Site settings is right here. So we'll click on site settings. At the top, you got your design system. This is where you set up your color palette, your fonts. So let's say you're building a website for a client. They should provide their preferred color palette, their preferred fonts. So let's go to global colors. We'll go to global colors here. You can select your primary color, let's say purple. Your secondary color, let's choose something here. We can go with, I'll just pick something random, like this green color here. Then we might select the, let's do this for text. Okay, so for text, select that. Your accents, yeah, I like that. Let's choose bright. All right, and then you click Save Changes. So now let's go back. Let's select our global fonts. So our primary font, right now we have it as Bebas New. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but let's try something different. Let's go with Montserrat. It's one of my favorite fonts here. And we can say our primary font weight will be 900. We'll make it all uppercase, make it interesting. Choose decoration, you don't have to do that. All right, that's good. Let's make sure everything's good. All right, and our secondary, we can choose our secondary. Let's say Roboto. What would go well with this? Maybe Roboto slab. That's kind of nice. Let's give that 34 pixels. And we'll just leave it there. Our text font, we can do Roboto slab again. And we'll do that 16 pixel. And let's hit Save Changes on that. Your accents, your accents should also match whatever fonts you're using. So let's do Roboto slab again. And we'll do that 16 as well. So now we go back. So now we got our global colors and global fonts set up. Now you go down your theme style. So we're gonna click on typography, and you can here also you can choose your text color. This is for your body text, and you can choose one of our colors here. Let's use that for text. Your H1. Also, yeah, your links. So you're gonna have links on your website. For links, let's choose our accent color. You can choose size for that as well. You can see that it's changing at the top. My blog. Do that. Well, actually, you know what? Let's not change the size here, because you might have links within your paragraph, so you want that to stay consistent. So back to default, you just click this little icon. So your H1, that's your main paragraph. So you can choose one of your colors, one of your brand colors here. Let's say we want it to be purple. And I believe we already have our size set. if you don't change it here, it should be your primary font that you selected previously. You can choose your H2, and you can go down the line all the way to H6. Now below typography, you got your buttons, and this is where you can select your button fonts. So your button fonts should also be consistent with your main fonts. So let's say we want our button fonts to be maybe Montserrat. How big do you want your buttons to be, your button font? You know, some people like big buttons. Let's do 16. Font weight. And once you set this, all of your buttons across your website will be consistent with whatever you have set here. So now let's go back, and below buttons, you have images. And this is pretty cool because you're gonna have images, so you don't wanna be editing this on every single image as you're building the website. So it's good to set this here, and it will speed up your process tremendously. You can choose border types. This is your border radius. Your corners will be rounded, 24 pixels. You can choose your border type. Here we can select solid. You can select double line, dotted, all depending on what style website you're building. We might go solid. Let's do 1 pixel. And this 1 pixel border, we're gonna use our accent color. Or actually maybe purple. Let's try purple. And in the next video, we're gonna build a website with these settings. We might go back and adjust it, which is perfectly normal. Throughout your building process, you might get some ideas and see that some of the settings were not perfect. So you might go back and change those settings a little bit. And I usually do that. I usually discover those little mistakes when I first start building. So I'll go back and adjust these settings. So by the time you get to your second page, third page, you'll have everything perfect, and your building process will be sped up quite a bit. And below images, you got your form fields. Here you can select your label color, typography, field, text color. So let's change a couple of these right now. Since we're doing the border radius 24 pixels, let's do that here as well. You can select your padding. Let's do 14 on the padding. Border type solid. Let's do 1 pixel again. And let's select purple color again. Text color, accent color. We'll adjust this later on. And below form fields, you got your hello theme header, since we installed the hello theme. So you can go here, you got your, what do you want to show? A lot of times I'll just turn these off. I'll use a separate plugin for headers and footers. And then hello theme footer, same thing. I'll do that with the separate plugin, which I will show you in another tutorial. And below that, you got your settings. This is your site identity. Also, I might do this with another plugin. You can also do this in your customizer, and you can do this in your WordPress settings. So we'll just leave that blank. Your background, if you want to do a global background color, I don't recommend that. I prefer doing that within the builder as you're building the website. But you do have that option if you do choose to do that. Now your layout is very important. I highly recommend setting this right off the bat. Decide what your content width will be. So 1200 pixels is pretty good. But just as an example, let's do 1340. Your container padding, I usually start at 14 pixels all around. These are your gaps between your containers. I'll start with 10. I mean, it depends on how big the website is, how wide it is. So if it's a wider website, I might do wider gaps. Yeah, so let's start at 14. And then we hit save changes. Your lightbox settings are here. So this is your image lightbox. This is how, when you click on an image within a gallery, this is how it's going to be displayed. You can play with this later on. I generally just leave this as it is, and then later on I might adjust it. But it's good to know that this is where you can change those settings. Your page transitions, this is something you can set up in your Pro Elementor if you do want to upgrade. And same with custom CSS, this is also a pro feature. But we don't need that. We don't need page transitions. You can just leave that as it is. So right now, I'm going to show you an example. So we made some changes here. We'll go to Flexbox and let's drag and drop a heading here. There you go. See, these are the settings that we made within the global styles. Let's drag and drop a button and see how that looks. There's our button. Let's center everything. All right, and now if you don't like the size of this font, I like that it just changed a little bit. Yeah, so sometimes it might not activate right away. It might not be active right away, but as you keep building, you'll see that all the changes you made in your global styles are active. Let's drag and drop an image and see how that looks. There you go. See that? Do we have any images here? Media library. Okay, let's put this in here. All right. See? Got our border radius. Got our 1 pixel border. Everything is looking good.
Guys, if you found this helpful, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I got way more tutorials coming your way. Also, if you're into solopreneurship or you're thinking about starting your own web agency, get my free book, Solopreneur's Guide to Agency Success. I'll put that link below, so go ahead and grab your free copy today. Also, keep an eye out for my web agency playbook course. It's coming soon and it's packed with step-by-step strategies to help you build and grow your own digital agency. Thanks again for watching and see you in the next one.